So I occasionally speak to churches working to put together, I guess, welcome home or release packages for those getting out of the system. Sometimes it's clothing, sometimes it's hygiene products, sometimes it's both. I'm looking, you know, with the halfway house that I want to run, I want to have a welcome package for the guys getting out. And this goes back to the dehumanization that I've talked about in a couple other videos in wanting to rehumanize them and deinstitutionalize them, from the minute they come in contact with our facility. And that includes this welcome package. There is nothing wrong with thrift stores. I've been shopping at them since I was a kid myself. Uh, Not out of need necessarily, but just a recognition that there can be good clothing there. But when you're coming out the door of prison and you are trying to set that tone for your success, your ability to, get a foundation going on you and feel like you are not a charity case, that you are a human being, that you're out of that institutionalized setting. I think part of that is, you know, what's waiting for you out there. And when you come to a place where immediately they tell you, okay, go to this place so you get a voucher for Salvation Army or Goodwill, or go to the the clothing closet for this church or that church. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it does still reestablish, it still reinforces that you're a charity case, that you are maybe not, the person you want to be, that you're still, it's a little bit institutionalized. And I want to maybe offset that. And that goes with the hygiene products, it goes with the food they're being provided, it goes with the clothing. So the welcome package I want to put together would be, a pair of jeans and maybe a pair of basketball shorts, a fresh unopened packages of socks and underwear and t-shirts, maybe a ball cap, you know, maybe even a pair of sneakers or something like that. For the bed in the room, it's going to be a fresh pillow, fresh linen, fresh towels. For hygiene products, it's going to be, brand name. It doesn't have to be high end. It might be Suave, or White Rain or something like that. Old Spice body wash, Colgate toothpaste. But the reason I want it to be that is because these people have been in an environment where they've been wearing boxers and socks that have been worn by hundreds of other guys. They get washed and reissued. Clothing that is very rarely brand new. Every once in a while, you'll get issued something that's just been put into circulation. And when that happens, these guys try to keep a hold of that. They try to wash it themselves for as long as they can because it's new. It hasn't been worn by anybody else. Hygiene products, if they don't have any money, they're getting Americare is the brand, the generic brand. I don't want to knock that brand. It's used in hospitals and nursing homes and places like that. You see those commercials talking about generic laundry detergent as opposed to Tide and the amount of water that's in it. And it's the same thing. The shampoo and conditioner and stuff like that. It's not quality, long-term usage stuff. And if you're handed that type of generic stuff, from Dollar Tree, it's not the same as coming out and being handed a package of brand name stuff. And I speak to churches sometimes, like I said, to put together these packages, and I talk about the need for brand names. And I've had a few people say, well, that seems kind of, you're too good to get whatever charity we give you. And it's not that. It is the humanization process. It is the deinstitutionalization process. I'm not saying you need to get me the family size tube of Colgate to give to these guys. I don't care if it's the travel size that costs 99 cents. It's the fact that it's a brand name. That brand name, that new clothing, that establishes for these people that they are somebody of value, somebody of worth. It begins the process of humanization. It begins the process of deinstitutionalizing them. And it goes to the meals and the food. We're going to buy the toilet paper and the laundry detergent and the paper towels and the dishwasher soap and all of that for the halfway house with the $250 a month they put towards food necessities. And also with the food, there's a halfway house in West Texas, where I was at, I wasn't at this one. I was at a different halfway house in the area. But the guys at this halfway house, it was an institutionalized setting. It was an old uh, rehab facility. So, but the people that ran the halfway house, they would take these guys once a month, and they would take all the residents and go to the different area food banks and get food. Yet these guys were paying for their rent and meals as well. But I don't know how many of you ever used food banks or volunteered at food banks, or the case would be, this is not the highest quality food. It's a lot of beans, it's a lot of rice, it's a lot of cheap stuff, it's a lot of stuff that will keep. And I've used food banks and I've had to eat the food from them, and it is what it is, and it will fill you up. But again, that humanization process, you know, the halfway house, I was actually out in West Texas. It also provided meals, lunch and dinner. You were on your own for making. Uh, I mean, breakfast and lunch, and then dinner was usually made by a couple residents for everybody. But all of the food was in the pantry. We went shopping, two or three of us usually as a group, or the house director would take one or two of us, and it was the same food that anybody would put on their own table. It was, I mean, we had steak, we had pork chops, we had, eggs and bacon, we had the food that you would want to eat in your own home, and we paid for it. It wasn't charity; we were paying for it. But the point was, is again, the humanization process of getting away from that institutionalized setting. And I think it's very important that it starts from day one. It starts from the minute they walk out the door, that they feel like they are worth something. And that's what we are setting out to do with this. And again, if you are interested in helping and have a heart for this, please by all means contribute or donate. Thank you, and please join us for the ride.